The main motif of Carol of the Bells is only 4 notes, but Mykola Leontovych managed to get so much more out of them than the sum of their parts. And considering the strife that was going on all around him, it's amazing that he was able to write music at all. Funding for the story of carols provided by Jim and Betty Holthauser in honor of their parents Alfred and Betty Marie Pence and Normand and Patricia Holthauser. In 1877, Mykola Leontovych was born in Podolia, Russia, in what is now Ukraine. He was trained as a priest of the Eastern Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Kamyanets-Podilsky, a town that's existed since at least 1062. The historically multi-ethnic city served as the temporary capital of the Ukraine People's Republic during the Russian Revolution. In 1903, Leontovych chose music over the priesthood and left Kamyanets-Podilsky to attend the St. Petersburg Court Capella, where he received his credentials as a choir master in 1904. Leontovych had a gift for arranging native Ukrainian, Polish, Armenian, and Jewish folk songs for choir. But this brought him to the attention of the revolutionaries, who considered multicultural artists to be part of the intelligentsia, deemed one of the problems in the budding Soviet nation. And while many artists fled the region in the Great Diaspora following the October Revolution, Leontovych stayed home, moving to Tulchin in 1908. It was during his time in Tulchin that he wrote a piece called Shedrik, the song we know today as Carol of the Bells. Shedrik originally used a Ukrainian folk song to tell the tale of a swallow which flew into a farmer's house to bring news of good fortune in the coming year. It was a song about the arrival of spring, not Christmas. By 1918, Leontovych had organized a Ukrainian national orchestra and choir in Kiev. But as the Soviet persecution of Ukrainian intelligentsia ramped up again, Leontovych fled the city, returning to his home in Tulchin. Over the Christmas holiday in 1921, the Leontovych family entertained a house guest named Afanasy Grushenka. On the morning of January 23rd, Grushenka, who was actually an agent with the Soviet secret police, assassinated the composer, robbed the family, and fled. The music of Mykola Leontovych, however, would survive. He became known as the Ukrainian Bach. But it was Shedrik that would make him world famous, with a little help from a Czech-American choir master in New York. Peter J. Wolowski was born in New Jersey on July 6, 1902. He was a boy soprano in the Russian Cathedral Choir. He became a teacher and choir master, eventually rising to assistant music director in the New York City school system. He also taught classes at Juilliard. His choirs performed on NBC with Walter Damarosh, whose broadcast colleague Arturo Toscanini also hired Wolowski to train the chorus for his network program. Needing a holiday song for Toscanini's broadcast, Wolowski recalled a piece he'd heard in 1922 when the Ukrainian National Choir toured the United States. The piece, of course, was the Leontovych folk song, Shedrik. Wolowski's 1936 arrangement kept the original 4-note motif, but changed the lyric to The Legend of the Bells, which states that at midnight on the first Christmas, all the bells on earth began to spontaneously ring. Wolowski used accents and layered vocal techniques to emulate the sound of more and more bells ringing across the globe, until that final lone bell softly fades away into Christmas morning. As an homage to Leontovych, Wolowski titled his piece, Carol of the Bells, a Ukrainian carol.